Hey my demigods, what's going on? This is Thirteenth Olympian, and today for you guys, I'll be doing an updated build guide of my Bellona for Season 3, mainly because someone actually requested that I do a build guide for this goddess. Honestly, he was like asking me questions, and I was like, I can just make a video, because I didn't want to do all that typing, and I felt, you know what, machine is an update, because I think my last Bellona build guide was like Season 2, end of Season 2, so hope you guys do enjoy, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more. So we're gonna be going straight into the build. I'm hoping you guys all know what her abilities are. Master of War, Shield Bash, Bludgeon, Scourge, and the Eagle's Rally. I tried to remember it without like having to look at it, but I couldn't. I'm sorry. So we're gonna go directly into the build. So I'm assuming you're gonna be playing her in solo lane. I'll see if I can give you a jungler build, because honestly I haven't played her in jungle all that much in Season 3. Only a few times, but I'll go ahead and go for the solo lane build first, and then if I do have time, I will go into a jungle build. Although I have not been seeing it as often as I usually have in Season 2. So first off, you can either go Bluestone Pendant as a starter item, or Death's Toll. Bluestone Pendant, this is what I usually go, mainly just for the mana, and the passive is pretty good. And the physical power is nice too. But Death's Toll, usually I do end up going like for Ichaival or some sort of like I do delve into a little bit of attack speed when it comes to Bellona. So you can go ahead and go Death's Toll too, because it does it gives back to you. I think before it only gave you 1 mana, now it gives you 2 mana. So they kind of buffed it, so it's kind of worth it now. The health is nice and the power is the same. The only different thing is that boosting gives you mana and the passives are different. And of course you're gonna want to start with like tier 1 boots. Boots, and you can honestly decide between potions. You can go mana, healing, pot, or even multi potions. Since you're gonna be starting with mana buff in the soul in anyways, you can go healing pots and multi potions. That's perfectly fine. I'm still stuck in this habit of me getting mana pot and healing potion, even though I usually don't end up using those mana pots, because I do have that mana buff. So having mana pot's not really worth it in the when you still have the mana buff. But once you're on level 5, you can go ahead and start delving into mana potions and all that good stuff. But well, actually, once you hit level 5, you also want to get some wards too. So for the core build, you're gonna want to finish off Warrior Tabby. It depends on how you are doing. So if you're like a little bit ahead, you can first go into Jotuns, or you can go into Ichaival. This is if you're ahead. If you're behind, I would suggest going straight into some physical damage, physical protections. That would be Breastplate of Valor. However, most of the time, even if I am ahead, I do end up going Breastplate of Valor just because I want the extra defense. But Ichaival is really good at him too, just with Bellona in general. She's still really good with like a decent amount of attack speed. So yeah, definitely Warrior's Tabby. Actually, most of the time I do end up going Jotun's third item. Like, usually I'd go Warrior Tabby, Breastplate Jotuns, or Breastplate Ichaival. I usually don't get Jotuns till a third or fourth item, but if you're ahead and you're feeling good about it, might as well go ahead and get Jotuns, because you are gonna end up getting Jotuns and Breastplate just to max out your cooldowns. Later on, you can end up getting Frostbound Hammer just for the health, and its passive is really nice as well. Let's see, I'm like doing this on the spot. Oh, more I'll go to when I get to the defense thing, I'll go back to there. To that like defense category down here. You know, I'm gonna you will get these items. Ichaival, it's situational. You can keep it. You can leave it out and maybe get Runeforge, or just any other item in general. Really. You can even go a stone cutting sword if you really wanted to. It's just it depends on like your playstyle. I tend to be more aggressive when I play Bellona, so I would also actually go for some lifesteal as well. I'd go for Bloodforge because it gives you a lot of power. I mean, yes, it does. It costs a lot of gold, but it gives you a lot of power. The passive is really nice. So yeah. And another item you can possibly get would be Executioner. If I can, I'll just go to attack speed. Executioner. Great passive, gives you decent power and really good attack speed. If you're going for the more attack speed build, Now, if you're going for a more aggressive build, I would suggest getting Warrior Tabby, Jotun's, Breastplate, Ikavul, Bloodforge, and Executioner. Gives you really great attack speed and lifesteal, along with, yeah, you have some really good defense. You have max cooldowns, you have really decent power, and you of course got that speed. But for the most part, unless you're killing the opponents, like just decimating them, you're not really gonna go for this kind of build unless you're pretty experienced with her, or B, like I said, just really ahead. I'll also give you some other alternatives items you can get, because these are mainly the main items I would get with a Bellona. It also just really depends on your playstyle. I tend to be really aggressive, but for defensive items, definitely would suggest getting Achilles, or where's Bulwark? Bulwark is a really good item too, for magical defense, of course. So you don't like, for a lot of supports, for example, or even some other solo laners like Tyr, for example, you would be building like Bulwark, Breastplate, and let's say Mantle of Discord or something like that, just to be really tanky. But with my Bellona, I usually tend to just build these two items and I'm done with defense. Unless you want to count, of course, Frostbound and Runeforge for defense, but I'd count Runeforge as more of a power item. I don't even know why it's under this defensive category. I can kind of see Frostbound Hammer just because it's slow and gives you more health than Runeforge, but this mainly seems like an offensive item. I don't know why it's in the defensive category. You can always also go Void Shield. I honestly haven't gotten it too often myself, but it's still really good because it reduces your opponent's protections, gives you 50 protections. Now that's kind of a lot, and it gives you a lot of power. So you can easily like switch it out with like a Frostbound or something and be getting pretty like even trade-off. Another item you could get would be, crap, where is it? Shifter Shield. I haven't seen it been used a lot. I've still used it from time to time. It gives you really good power when you're over 50%, and it gives you really good defense when you're under 50%. So I think it's like a pretty decent item all in all. Now, it may not be used that often, but let's say your build was Warrior Tabby, Jotun's, Breastplate, Bulwark, Shifters. That's like 1 to 5 items. And let's say you just went into like Runeforge, just because like that's a lot of health, and you're getting pretty good protections too. So these would be the standard items I'd be getting as a Bellona. Of course, also just depends on your playstyle. If you like to be more tanky, you can always switch out, let's say, Shifter Shield for not Mental Discord, because if you are gonna be going for the Jotun's Breastplate, getting Mantle Discord or Spirit Robe is not gonna help you out at all. Yes, the defense is really good, but you're not really gonna benefit from the cooldown reduction. So I'd suggest getting a Hide of the Urchin. It will give you decent health, and it does have like pretty decent stacks when it comes to protections. So if you are going for this combo, I wouldn't suggest getting Spirit Robe or Mantle Discord, but you can go ahead and go into like another item like Void Shield, or I don't know, whatever else is hip. I mean, if you're getting just like decimated by physical defense, go for more physical defense. If you're getting decimated by mages, go more for magical defense. With the new buff coming out for Witchblade in the next patch, so keep in mind, I'm actually recording this video the day before 3.16. I think that's the patch. So this would actually be 60% protections and 50% attack speed. So you can also go ahead and get this. Like, honestly, this would be also a really great item. I haven't seen it been used yet in playtesting because I don't have the playtest servers, but since it will be giving like 60 protections, let's say you're going against like Erlang Shen or something like that, maybe even a Robin or Vamon, because Vamon you can build Fatalis. You can maybe experiment, try switching out Breastplate of Valor for Witchblade, see how that goes. It will give you decent protections. Then if you're gonna still get Ikavul, go ahead and go get Ikavul. You have a lot of attack speed, and you'll have really good protections, and the aura is pretty nice as well. So for the relics, if you're gonna be playing in the solo lane, I would of course suggest getting Teleport wherever that is. There we go. Another option would honestly just be Purification or Sanctuary. You can, go for Curse or like that. Honestly, I don't really use anything else other than these 3 items in the solo lane. unless I'm going maybe against like a Bracken or an Odin, you know, you can go Phantom. I wouldn't really suggest getting anything else, to be completely honest. Curse, maybe if you're going against, I don't know, maybe a healer like a Hell, just because. In casuals, of course. I wouldn't suggest getting Blink. Maybe, no, not Wrath. That's for your jungler. But yeah, this is the main build for Bellona. Of course, you can get whatever you want with relics, but early game, I'd suggest getting Teleport. Also, later on in the late game, mid to late game, it serves fine as long as you're winning in your solo lane and your team is warding efficiently. Then Teleport would also serve very well, because if, let's say, you have their tier 1 tower down, they don't have your tower down, you want to help your team gank, let's say, left lane, but then your towers get knocked down, or, you know, your lane's getting just utterly destroyed while you're gone, teleport back. And even if they do destroy that tier 1 tower, it's not really going to matter, to be completely honest. You still have that one tower left, and as long as your team's efficiently warding and you're warding too, teleport would serve pretty well, because you also teleport to those wards. But yeah, guys, other than that, there's the Bellona build. I'm gonna do my build differently for this season, or this go around, because usually I'd give like a few clips, but I mean, if you really have any questions, leave them in the comment section below, because those are kind of hard to make. I mean, I can, if you guys really want to run those back, like me giving you guys more examples during the game how to play, I can bring those back, but honestly those are also really time consuming, and I am still in high school, so if need be, I'll go ahead and make them if you guys really want to. I'll go ahead and add those back into like my build guides, but for the most part, you should have the gist of how to play this. If you're building more tanky, you can go in frontline more freely. If not, you might want to be a little more conservative with your playstyle. Now, in terms, I know this is a question that the person who wanted this build guide was asking, so I will answer this question. He was asking, you know, how to position, and I think said something along the lines of when to use your ult. So as a Bellona, I would suggest using your ult mainly a lot of the times in team fights. Her cooldown will be really insane if you go full cooldown. So I think it's like goes down to maybe even like between 30 to 45 seconds. I don't know. I actually honestly haven't played her in a while. Let's take a look at that. Wait, I can't. Never mind. But it will go down like exponentially if you have full cooldowns. So ult in team fights, you want to get those stuns off. Maybe do some combos. In the early game, if you do have her ult, you can use it to catch up your opponents, secure a kill in solo lane, because for the most part, you're not going to be getting too many ganks in solo lane. So, I mean, like, if your ult is down, you can go ahead, like, or not if your ult's down. If you ult an opponent and your ult gets down, it's not really going to matter too much, because they're not going to come in and just gank you instantly. Unless, of course, like, your opponents are asking for help, and their teammate was like, fine, you know, whatever, I'll go help. It's a really good escape. She kind of sort of has two escapes. It's her ults and her one, because her one lets her dash forward a little bit. So there's that for you guys. You have a little bit of movement when it comes to trying to get out, but it will be really difficult once her ult's down and her one is down. If they catch up to you and you're really low, there's honestly really nothing you can do unless your teammates come in and give you a hand. But other than that, if they're really chasing you down, your health's low, your ult and your one is down, the best you can probably do is A, stall them, or B, try to do as much damage as possible. Maybe try to get a kill. I mean, if one of them were low enough as it was, maybe try securing a kill, because her bludgeon does a lot of damage. It has a lot of potential to do really good damage, because it stacks off of your opponents. So like for every opponent hit, it does more. It scales, not stacks. So you can try to, you know, just stall for time. Maybe give your teammate some time to, let's say your entire team's dead. You know, you're the last one alive, so might as well try to keep the chase going on. That way they're not going after a Phoenix or a Fire Giant or even a Gold Fury. Or just do as much damage as you can, try to get a kill. If not, at least hopefully try to get a few from the back. That way it just slows down their momentum a little bit more. But other than that, if you're building like at least breastplate and bulwark, you should be fine with like not necessarily engaging the fights, but with like tanking a little bit. Bulwark with the passive really good. If you happen to, let's say, get Bulwark and Bloodforge, that's like really OP because like you'll double the shields. And Chile, I know I didn't really go over why you want to get this, but the protections are the same as Bulwark. It gives you power. However, if you do go max cooldowns, you won't gain any benefit from Chile's cooldowns. But its passive is pretty decent because it silences when you get hit by magical damage. It sends out a shockwave and silences enemies within range of 20 units. Now that doesn't just silence the person who attacks you; it silences all enemies. So I mean, it's a pretty decent item. However, if you're not going to benefit from the cooldowns, I wouldn't necessarily get it myself. I just put it on here because honestly, it is a really good option to get. And if, let's say, you did want to go for Spirit Robe, or you did want to go for Mantle, because let's say you just went for Warrior Tabby, Jotuns, and Chile, that's 30% right there. If you went for Mantle, you're only going to be losing 5%, losing out on that 5%, because it gives 15% CDR. So I think that's worth it. Or if you were to go for Spirit Robe, for example, it gives you 10% cooldown, so you'd be breaking even on that. But for the most part, I wouldn't necessarily like... I don't know. For the most part, my builds are usually made up of Warrior Tabby, Breastplate, Jotuns, Ichaival, Bulwark, and then I tend to go Runeforge. You can also later on trade out Ichaival for something else, maybe like a Bloodforge or an Executioner, maybe even a Frostbound Hammer. Frostbound Hammer would be really good as well. But other than that, guys, hope you all enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you all did. And let me know what other build guides you want to see, because I haven't been lacking on my build guides. I've been wanting to make more, but honestly, it's just, not all of them are time consuming for the most part. This is actually kind of quick without having to do all the video clips. But since I am back in school, I apologize for the lack of content on my channel. Please forgive me, guys. Other than that, hope you guys all enjoyed. And other than that, I will see you all next time. Peace.